I don't think people realize that we just sit around all the time and like, can you believe this shit?
Can you fucking believe it?
I can't believe this shit.
Growing up here and seeing my man that lived upstairs getting killed and then my brother shot, like, you know what I'm saying? That showed me what type of world this shit is, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I mean, like I told like them and them and them and them. I'm from a small hood in Marcy. I come from a project. I come from nothing. Like people were very, 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 very poor. That's where I came from. And to be not only a star in your neighborhood, then to be a star in the world, and then to take it even further and be international. That was the award, best international hip hop act. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's a ways, cause you know, hip hop was originated in the States. You know,
everyone who was in hip hop was familiar with like your beef with Jay-Z, right? Mm-hmm. What it was. Yeah. And then I loved how in here you talk about that beef, what it was, how it disappeared, but how you'll still
It's the Chief Seats. We back. Mo and Rap. We do this thing. We better than y'all. We doper than y'all. Tap in, hit share, hit like, tell a friend to tap in. We taking over the universe one episode at a time. What's good, Mo?
H-Rap about to tell some lies already. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell them what we're talking about, and then tell them about the conversation we had.
Okay. Y'all saw last week's conversation when we were talking about hip hop and hip hop culture. In some way or another, I, the elder statesman, said, I think Nas's catalog is better, more gooder, greater, easier to listen to, more long lasting than Jay-Z's pretty good catalog. And this guy, that guy to my right, your left, or however you're looking at, said, And today, I repeat, this is not a battle. This is not a competition. We would not be saying anything negative about either artist. We both love both artists.
Right.
This ain't LeBron versus Jordan. This ain't that versus this versus that, and all that old foolishness that people participate in. We are celebrating two artists. We just believe one has a better catalog than other. That's what they both have A+ catalogs. First up will be Jay-Z. Let's say Jay-Z and Nas, and we're gonna talk about the beginning, the middle, of the end. I even have taken the liberty of making a few categories.
Okay, I'm curious to hear this.
First, we're gonna do this. We're gonna ask you to hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend to tap in, because we doping to y'all and y'all ain't dope as us, and we need y'all to tap in. Subscribe if you haven't. This is ParkBench Media. This is presented by End of the Bench Media. This is Mo and H-Rap. We are the dopest hip hop guys in the history of the world. As we go to this, we're gonna go to the MC. What's his favorite and his champion in this conversation would be Jay-Z. My champion in this situation will be Nas. What makes Jay-Z's category better? I mean, catalog better as an MC? Mo, you have the flow.
You want to start out with that, and for me, that's a problem because Nas is a better MC than Jay-Z, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to but let me say this though, because I do think when we have this debate, when people have this Nas versus Jay-Z versus whoever debate, Nas gets catapulted way up here on this level, like nobody is really close to him. The Nas fans, let me say that, you usually hear names like Rakim, and with the more, what's the word? I want to be careful how I use my words with this, but the more, I don't know, contemporary fan may even throw Eminem in there. But it's like Jay-Z, it's like he can't really go bar for bar with Nas, and I disagree with that. I do think Nas is a better MC, but I think not what Jay-Z shines is he has a lot of he has a lot of records where he understands, okay, now it's time to let my pen shine. You will hear it on tracks like Dead Presidents. You will hear it on some of these, on some of the tracks in this catalog. And I think he dope. But I can't say that he's a better MC, man. I don't like how you back me in the corner with that one.
Oh no,
I don't
no, no.
like that.
I just want
I
you
don't
to
like,
no,
I don't
no.
like how you back me in the corner.
Maybe I should explain better. What I want you to do is give me the best parts of Jay Z's MC ability, and I will give you why I
It's the
believe.
flow. It's the
Okay,
flow.
okay,
It's absolutely the flow. It's absolutely the flow. And don't forget, Jay-Z switched his style up.
Mhm.
And a lot of artists, when they switch up, you ain't seen but a handful of artists that can just really be that versatile as far as being able to switch styles and still sustain success. In Jay-Z's case, he changed his flow up for the better. He had that little early 90s rapid fire flow and he just smoothed it out and I don't know, it worked for him. It stuck. Okay.
But
With the loud rah-rah and he kind of, found different ways to switch his cadence up depending on what he was doing. And as a result, he was able to this day, he just put out a dope album, in my opinion. You put me on to that Buster album.
yeah, and you know what, man?
So yeah, I think it's the flow.
Like with me, I don't have a problem with Jay Z. Unlike most people who would have this conversation, we would be sitting around arguing who's the best and who's the worst. What we're saying is who shines the most, whose sun is a little brighter, or who draws you to them more. Me, I definitely can respect the fact that like one of the more I would say he is a more versatile MC than Nas. And I would even go as far as to say his music selection is more in tune than Nas. But one of the things that I like about your Nas is and people of that ilk, like a Pharoah Monch, a Nas, the reason I think his catalog is better as an MC is versatility makes the MC. Let's not get it twisted. But like a Slick Rick, a Rakim, a Nas, consistency of the fact that you're just being yourself helps me. I don't want you to change. Like Jay-Z, Jay-Z took a minute to find his voice. Because like you said, he was doing that triple up style that Big Daddy Kane made. He flashed it, DOC
Hmm.
flashed it, and they made it insane. And at that point, you had that DOS effects thing, which as a hip hop fan, I hated DOS effects. Don't tell me how you couldn't tell me nothing that worth a damn they ever said on any song. Bump skibbity bump skibbity bump bump. I hated it. I
I
hated
can
it.
recite that whole song.
These dudes just took a bunch of nursery rhymes and jammed them in together and tricked some of the best producers in the history of hip hop and to give them some of the greatest beats ever. And they tricked the world into rapping like that. Had people bump skibbity bumpity bumpity.
Come on, man.
I
You
hated
can't you
that.
can't do that, man. You can't do that because the 90s, that era, man. Come on, man.
That
So
shit was
you ain't
trash.
like Poor Righteous Teachers?
Poor Righteous Teachers had a patois sound. These dudes were gibberish. That was
Oh, it
bump
was
skibbity bump hump.
listen,
I got
I'm
the
with you
rump.
on that.
Hump.
I couldn't listen to
Now,
I couldn't listen to Di's Effects after their first album. But
I couldn't
nah, man.
listen to that shit after the first verse.
Everybody had a lot of it's like I didn't like Diggable Planets. Everybody loved them. I didn't care for
Yeah.
that. I didn't care for all of that scientific, solar, cosmic bullshit. I couldn't get with it. Listen, I understood what they were saying, but I'm like, you trying too hard to make a dope record. It
Yeah,
was a
like
dope
you did.
record, and it's so. I mean, I listened to they want effects. I listened to Cool Like That, or whatever the
Yeah,
name of
yeah.
that song was.
Re-
But
something of Slick. Revenge of Slick, I think.
The rebirth of Slick.
Rebirth of Slick. Yeah.
Yeah, rebirth of Slick. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, we ain't gonna get off subject, but I'm gonna say this right now. You talking about artists you didn't care for?
Mhm.
Camp Low. Couldn't get with him. You trying to tell me to go back and listen? I don't want to hear that fucking smooth ass pimp talking ass nigga. I ain't like that shit. I just didn't like it.
Hey, hey,
I ain't care for Sonny Chiba. I ain't care for whoever that other nigga was with the
Gucci
Donnie Hathaway
Suede.
hat on.
Gucci
Gucci
Suede is
Suede,
funny
yeah.
too. But here's the thing, man.
And I know I'm
Jay-Z
the
stole that man's
minority.
time.
Look, I know I'm the
Jay-Z
minority. I
stole
know
that.
everybody gonna be like, nah, that was the shit.
Jay-Z
So
stole that man's. Just
Jay-Z
saying,
ain't stole that, man. Go ahead. Move on to the
man.
next category,
That
man.
bounce flow, they
You bu-
stole that from him. And he stole it from him. But I mean, I ain't mad at you, man. Hey, guess what? People tell you that Kobe Bryant is a better player than Michael Jordan. He stole all his moves. Jay-Z did the same thing this way. That's fact.
Listen, if Kobe stole Jordan's moves and you say Jordan was the best to ever do it, but nobody else could steal Jordan's move, what does that say about Kobe?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, that's why I don't have no problem with Jay-Z stealing Gucci Suede style.
No,
If
stop,
I
stop.
invented it and you perfected,
You know
nobody.
what's you know what's funny?
That
You know
bro
what's
still
funny?
putting out albums. Ain't nobody know but me and a few others. A couple
Let me tell you
$100,000.
something. What's funny is while you saying that, and I'm arguing with you, I'm starting to hear it more and more. I'm starting to hear the nigga Gucci Suede and Jay-Z's flow.
So with Gucci Suede swole and Jay-Z. Jay-Z is Gucci Suede's Kobe.
Jay-Z was Gucci Suede on the second album he did. What was it? The Life and Time or something like that?
All of the
I can
first
hear it on
album,
that.
Gucci Suede,
I can hear it on Reasonable Doubt.
yeah. I'm just saying,
I can't believe I said that.
I
I
mean,
can't believe I said that on air, man.
but the thing is, it's the beauty in hip hop. You hear Rakim and you hear G Rap and Nas, so it ain't really a knock. It's just, hey man, you are influenced by anybody. If you are a great singer, I'm quite sure Luther Vandross. We could find a singer in the back of the day that Luther Vandross patterned his voice. Michael Jackson and Prince, they pattern their routines after James Brown. There's nothing wrong with
Let me tell you something.
mimicking.
And that's
Mimicking.
that's 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 how music work, bro. That's how it's
Exactly.
supposed to be. Everybody was inspired by somebody. You're not gonna tell me that John Legend is not the reincarnation of Carl Thomas. Listen to
John,
Carl Thomas and then listen to John Legend. He
hey,
stole that man whole flow, man. You
John
talking about
Legend.
stole somebody's flow.
John Legend is an old riverboat singer. This is ordinary people.
What was that song Carl Thomas did where he was crying, talking about he can't stop crying? Emotional.
Emotional. Carl
Emotional.
Thomas.
Yeah, he was
I
emotional
can't,
as hell on that song.
man,
Listen to
Carl
that and then
Thomas.
listen to John Legend.
I can't diss Carl Thomas. He's from Chicago. I'm sorry.
Hey man, listen, shout out to Carl Thomas. He did it first. But John Legend took that man's style. And we ain't
Yeah.
heard nothing else from Carl Thomas, at least not down here.
Well, you know
I don't know
what?
what
I
he
think
up
I
to.
think Carl Thomas does a lot of writing at this point, which is where the money is. So
Yeah, he
the
wrote
next,
for John Legend then.
hey, but you know what? No, they go another one before we go from MCing, which is vocals, R. Kelly and Aaron Hall.
Hmm.
Even the look.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's how they had to do, man. They had to do it.
Yeah.
That's how it was. Jungle Brother say John Legend. John Legend is a wedding singer. Yeah, for sure. Oh,
Mocha said,
all right,
I'd rather have Carl Thomas over John Legend. Hey, there you go. See?
man. Carl Thomas.
Mhm.
He had a better catalog than John Legend, man.
It ain't really hard how better kind of like Carl Thomas.
Yeah.
He got one
All
out.
right. The culture.
The culture. How do each one of these guys affect the culture with their catalogs? Who would you get a nod to when you get to talk about culture? You can go first, or I'll take the wheel on this one. Anthony is in the building. Good to see Anthony.
Man, shout out to Jungle. Shout out to Mocha. Shout out to Knox, man. Knox. Hey, listen, man, let me tell you something. That's a question right there. You got to answer that. It's different. I think they both had a major impact on the culture, but in completely different ways. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? As a hip hop purist, as a the fan of lyricism, how Styles P referred to it, say he a bar technician,
Yeah, a
right?
bar technician.
Nas is one of those artists that just raised the bar for MCs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Man, this dude's stupid. Nas one of those artists that raised the bar for MCs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z's impact on the culture was we gonna go just kick down the doors of the industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be about independence. It's going to be about giving hip hop what it's been owed for decades now. which is ownership, which is, the money. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And he did it with a certain level. A lot of people may not agree with it, but he did it with a certain level of integrity. Right? Go
Mhm.
back and watch the Memphis Bleak interview with Breakfast Club. He talked about a lot of that, as
Mhm.
somebody who was right there. But I think those two had, I mean, the impact was just crazy, man. Nas birth artists like Mob Deep in them, CNN, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Jay-Z got, what I'm saying, Dipset wanted to be Dipset, even though they may have come up around the same time. Both of them raised the bar in a lot of different areas in the culture, man. And I think you got to give both of them a nod to that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because, like you said, man, when you look at it like this, Nas came in the game and he was at one stage of the game. We have to understand that hip hop, the culture is only 50 years old. So by the time Nas got into it, it was 12 years old, 1992,
Hmm.
1993. You look at it like a child. Nas came into it as a prepubescent individual. Now, when you're looking at Nas, he was in the signing record deal era. Jay-Z couldn't get a record deal at that time. The Big Daddy Kane was shopping them around. So by
Yeah.
the time, like my man, like our man, Don Tripp say, they shut so many doors in our face, we started selling keys. Jay-Z was around people who was doing that type of thing. So he had the ability to, the original name of the show, the cheap seats. He was looking from the cheap seats. Nas is in the front. He on the front row going, hey, I got money. And Jay-Z
Hmm.
was able to look at that, which again, this is part of the evolution of the culture. You can't enter it like Run DMC. And first, we're not going to enter it like King Tim the Third and just him and the Fatback Band and just make a jam. And then you had an international jam with Sonya Robinson, and they made the Sugar Hill Gang. You got Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde,
Right.
Andre Harrell, and those dudes. And then you got Curtis Blow, the first star in hip hop. And then you got the Fat Boys. They take it to another level. So now it's humble and it's acceptable. It's cute and cuddly. And then you got Run DMC. They street. People
Hmm.
don't realize how street and how disrespectful Run DMC was. Not five, not four, not three, just two. That's a diss. Funky Five, the Furious Four, the Treacherous Street. It's just us two. They saying they the best. LL Cool J is a Mount Rushmore guy. Like people always say, who the Mount Rushmore? First and foremost, that's the stupidest conversation in the world. You got a 50-year coach. How the hell you gonna sum it up within four people? It's dumb, dumb,
Right.
dumb, 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 to dumb. You got the first superstar in the history of hip hop, LL Cool J, and then it took off. Nas was at the beginning of that takeoff in the early 90s. Jay came in the later 90s. So Jay-Z had the ability to look back and see what Luther Campbell saw what they did, saw what Russell Simmons
Hmm.
did, saw what the Wu-Tang did. Him and his crew said, we ain't got to deal with that. We're going to do it this way because hip hop was on the come up. I truly and greatly
Right.
appreciate
Right.
both of their contributions to the culture. And this is the conversation that people need to have when it comes to hip hop culture, instead of trying to tell everybody who is this and who is that, and we don't like you and you don't like me, and we don't like this and we don't like that. Let's just celebrate both and talk about the greatest contributions, the great contributions that they both made.
Hmm.
They said he overcharged the dudes for what they did to the Cold Crush. Exactly. Jay-Z is talking about uh reparations in hip hop, so to speak.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
are going to get our money back for what y'all did on the rape side of the game. And this is what me and Jonathan Williams, who just on my on the previous show, Rapping with A-Trap, this is what we're talking about. Jay-Z stepped into it and showed people how to do things that they don't even know that they had the capabilities of doing. So when
Yeah.
you talk about
Yeah.
that contribution, and Jay Z had a cheat code when he toured with BDK, but you know what?
Exactly.
BDK couldn't even get him a deal though. That's the beauty. That's the beauty in Jay Z.
Yeah,
Stick
but
to
you
it.
know what though? But still though, just still that, just coming from that lineage right there, bro. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's see that's what was that's what's crazy to me about like about New York. You got Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, and you got all of these
Mm-hmm.
different cliques. It's like you got Jay and Big Daddy Kane. You got Nas and Roxanne Shante. You know what I'm saying? People that's kind of giving you
Mm-hmm.
some insight into the game, regardless of what their path may have been, led those individuals. It's
Mm-hmm.
still that kind of a cheat code. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, I
And
mean,
that
but
shit is
think about it. At that time, everybody had a cheat code. MC Search was Nas' a cheat code. Busta Rhymes was named Busta Rhymes by Chuck D. You
mhm,
know, he gave him that from a
yeah.
dude named Busta who played for the University of Nebraska. He took the dude name and gave it to Busta Rhymes. So it's just this is the evolution. This is the we've witnessed the de-evolution. Chuck D speaks about it on a regular basis. How the people at the top ended the group. They ended the R&B group. They ended the rap group because see, we can't control 5 people, but we can damn sure control you. And
Hmm.
that's I just would believe that's the natural. That's it's just like our community, hip hop culture. To quote Most Def, you want to know what's going on in hip hop? Look at what's going on in the community. Whatever going on in the community, that's what's going on in hip hop. They got divide and conquer in the community. They did divide and conquer in the world. So you know you
Yep.
got Charlie Brown mad at Chuck or Busta Rhymes. Oh, I'm leaving the group because I want to be on my own. And how'd that work out for you, Charlie? But the one entity that it was not able to affect, the Killer Bees, Wu Tang. They be mad at each other, cuss each other out, and they still linked up.
Yeah, I mean that's another dope interview. You talking about reparations in hip hop and what RZA did with spitting all of them different orders off the different labels and ultimately having them really just working together without them even realizing. He explained that on Drink Champs or whatever. But let me go back though. You talk about impact on the culture. Let me ask you this though, with Nas and Jay-Z,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of impact did that little temporary beef have? Because without that, you wouldn't have Takeover, you wouldn't have Ether, and some of
Mm-hmm.
them other, tracks that come out like that. Like, and that could in some people eyes shift which way they gonna roll with it. As far as okay, I feel I'm rolling with Nas on this, I'm rolling with Jay on that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think the consistency is Ether was that shit, but I mean, it's a lot of people out there that's like, nah, man, I'm going with Takeover. And them tracks right there was, dude, who hip what if hip hop did not have those tracks?
Hip hop would have suffered without those tracks. And shout out to Jay Z, not because like a lot of people say he woke up a sleeping giant. Yeah, well, see, Nas almost no. I shout out to Jay Z for holding up the tradition of hip hop. Again, the aforementioned
Hmm.
Run DMC, this and the Treacherous Three, Kool Moe Dee will go down in history as one of the greatest MCs in history. Where whether you know that or not, that sucks to be you if you don't. The Fearless Four, the foundation. If hip hop was a pyramid, they'd be one of the foundational bricks. They carry on tradition. LL Cool J saw Kool Moe Dee was the man. Bam, I got to
Hmm.
dish you. I'm finna dish you. Kool Moe Dee put LL his first studio album. He put LL's Kango up under his tire. I'm dissing you. It ain't personal. It's hip hop. It's what we do. And Jay-Z, shout out to Jay-Z. He knew Biggie, like he said on his song, who's the greatest MC? Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas. He couldn't do Biggie no more because Biggie had transition.
Right.
He was on the other side. So guess what? I'm at you. You the king. I'm coming at your crown. So shout out to Jay-Z for holding up to tradition of hip hop. A lot of people want to commercialize Jay-Z. He's soft, he this, he that. And for whatever reason, we don't want to just walk out the barrel. We got to live in the barrel and continue to pull each other down. Jay-Z the man for dissing Nas because Nas was the undisputed king of New York, even if he had never been challenged. There's only two people who
Hmm.
have never won. One person who's never been challenged, and that's Rakim. But even Rakim and Kane had a little tete-a-tete. Rakim and EPMD had a little But at the end of the day, Jay-Z stood strong in hip-hop with that. That's another impact that Jay-Z had on the culture. And no one really talks about that. I'm dissing the best dude out here. I ain't finna go diss Mo. I ain't finna diss H-Rap. Who care if I diss them? But if I keep throwing these shots through Memphis Bleak at Nas, and shout out to Nas for shooting back. You want a ball till you fall? Let me help you with that. This is
Hmm.
the essence of hip-hop. This is the pure essence of hip-hop.
Man, listen, you talking about battles. This ain't got shit to do with shit. But I didn't know. I just found this out this past week. You know that DMX song, you
This
know what I'm talking about?
hold on. Which one? Say it again.
Party Up. DMX.
Yeah. Party up.
I did not know that was a diss track to Corrupt. Did you know that?
Oh, about Olga. I mean, what's up, brother? Foxy? Yeah.
About Fox, yeah, Inga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Inga.
saying? But I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. That's some shit that I was ignorant to. But
Yeah, man.
carry
I
on.
mean,
Carry on.
but
That was a trip to me. I
but
had to go back and
that's
listen
a
to it.
great point. That's a great point, man. That's when see these. That's
Because
when
people respect Corrupt's pen, man. I don't think he
yeah.
get the credit he deserves as as far as being a lyricist.
Hey, man. If you don't respect Corrupt's pen, don't talk to me about no hip hop.
Nah, I agree. I agree,
Even
but
though
a lot of people don't.
he does say mustard gas just a little bit too much in all the songs. Every song he say mustard gas. Like, hey, get a new weapon, dog. But
What's up, cuz?
yeah, but that's the beauty in hip hop, man. I'm throwing sublams. It's between me and you. The rest of the world find out 5, 10, 15, even with you 20 years later. That is the dopest thing in it. Dude, one of my favorite songs. This is how dope hip hop is. One of my favorite songs in the history of hip hop. From the first time I heard it to when I hear it today, I can't remember the lyric that I just figured out about 2020. It's Welcome to the Terror Zone. And I was like, I'm listening to the song, I'm rapping it, and I actually said it this time. I said, oh, that's what he meant. And that's the beauty in good hip hop. You hear something different in the song every single solitary time you hear it. And
And I'm terrible with lyrics, bro. I'm one of them ones. I'll mess a lyric up. I mess a lyric up. And I mean, I mess it up miserably. I ain't even gonna put it out there. Some of the lyrics I done messed up, but I thought they were saying.
yeah,
I'm gonna leave
man.
that one alone. I
Like,
get picked on around here for that.
oh yeah. Hey
Man, it's that bad.
Sometimes it is the vibe though, man. The vibe, people get confused with lyricism and vibe. And if you ain't got, if I can't do it, nah, man. Sometimes it's just the vibe. You hear it, you feeling the words, and then you go along, and that's what hip hop is all about. If you ask me, it's the impact on you. It's the impact on the community as well. Where you see, like, boy, if this goes viral, this might make us go viral right here. This next statement may put us right into viral land.
Say something crazy.
I ain't never liked their mom. My mom used to get up, go to work every day. I couldn't relate.
Oh. Say that again.
I couldn't relate to their moms, man. I love my mama. I was an OJ. Hey, man. Hey, I told you it might make us go viral. I wasn't rocking with that, man. I
Listen, man.
couldn't relate.
Let's clear something up. I don't know who in the chat room. Where you broadcasting to?
Mad Knox just said something, I think. Yeah, like Biggie's third. Yes. But go ahead and say your
Where you broadcast? You broadcasting Facebook and YouTube or whatever?
Facebook, YouTube.
Let me tell you something, man. People gotta stop disrespecting Tupac. Stop acting like Tupac is not a lyricist, man. Stop it, man.
I said that song.
What Jungle? So he putting his money on Microwave. He from New York. Jungle, where you from, man? Where Jungle from?
Jungle is from North Dakota. I don't believe he's from North Carolina.
He from North.
Next door to Big L.
Jungle. You know what? I said I wasn't gonna never do no podcast with you again because of some of the shit you said on the last one we did. We gonna clear this one up. We firing up. You got my number, I got yours. We need to talk tomorrow. Jungle gonna stop taking these shots at me, man. But bro, I'm telling you, man, it's
Go ahead. I was just looking at kicking the door.
No, I'm just saying I don't like when he, and I know I'm going left again, man. We be having them conversations about hip hop, some of the greatest of all time. When it get down to Big and Pac or Pac and whoever, it's always, man, Pac was dope. He was relatable. He connect with the people, but he wasn't spitting like that, man. You got your damn mind, man. Pac was a lyricist, been a lyricist. People got to stop that. And compared to his counterparts, he was still a lyricist. He just had his own style.
I'm gonna say one thing that makes
he was hip hop, man. Pac was hip hop.
I'm gonna say one thing that makes sure everybody in the history world understand how dope of a lyricist Tupac was. It's only 2 people in the history of rap. If you 3, 4, but one of them dead. 3 people in the history of hip hop that hit the bullseye right in the center every time they open their mouth. Tupac Shakur, KRS-One, and Redman. They hit the bullseye every time they open their mouth. Because they was like, Redman, I'm a party rocker. I entertain. I get down. KRS-One, I'm a B-boy. I'm doing B-boy stuff. Bam. Tupac Shakur, whether I'm thugging, whether I'm for the people, or I'm dissing. So if you don't like Tupac, you are outside your damn mind.
You know what all of those artists got in common? They are so versatile when it comes to hip hop. It's like any type of hip. You got certain artists that this their lane. They got to stay in this lane. That's where they thrive at. You know what I'm saying? Those artists, Redman, KRS-One, Pop, they can jump in any lane in hip hop and work and make it work. Every last one of them. I mean, Redman, one of my favorite, arguably my, top 5 all-time favorite MCs. Have been since There Is a Dark Side. That's when I really got on Redman like that. But dude, man, I'm telling you, man, like, and I'm not saying that Pac is my favorite rapper. We ain't going that far with it. But Pac, one of them ones that I just feel like, come on, man, you gotta respect him for more than just So Many Tears or Blasphemy, Hail Mary, because Pac was that dude, man. Pac was that dude. He was probably arguably the hardest working artist to do it. You know what I'm saying? Look at the body of work he put out in such a short period of time. KRS-One was untouchable when Scotland Rock was alive. Yeah,
I'm still untouchable to this very day. But back to what Knox said. Knox said there's a lot of subliminal and kicking the door. The third verse was a distant nine. He said, he said he opened the door. Knox, he opened the door dissing everybody. He said some. He said, when I crush all so-called thugs, Tupac, Big Willies, Nas, and Methadons, and that's the Wu-Tang. Y'all talk this gangster stuff. I'm dissing y'all too. Biggie was pure hip hop as well. I mean, see that old you ain't hip hop, I ain't hip hop. Miss me with that nonsense. For people my age, 55 and older, KMA, when y'all talk about these young boys, they ain't talking about nothing. This dude Biz Markie is a hip hop legend. He had a song, sit in the bathroom, waiting on my bowels to move. I got a doodle. I like the Whopper, forget the Big Mac. Rob Bass. Young MC was a hot artist at one time. Tone Loc was a hot artist. My Posse's on Broadway is a hip hop classic. KMA with all that these young boys ain't talking about nothing. I remember Joe Ski Love had a song called The Pee Wee Herman. It was like
I knew you was gonna go there. Gonna go there with that.
I'm proud of people. Oh man, they ain't real hip hop. We had some real goofies too. So
I mean, what the older heads gotta do is like, to me, it's a blessing to have a 25-year-old and a 23-year-old because I'm forced to hear that. I mean, they grew up in my house. That's their music. That's what they like. And me and my son, we got a like real argument about that, like real nasty argument about it. We in the studio because he wanted to start rhyming and he wanted to jump in the booth and whatnot. And I was, just overly critical. And he just had to check me on that. Like, how much do you really listen? You ain't listening to this shit. You had your thing, now I got mine. That's pretty much the message he was giving me. And I just stopped, step back and listen. I'm like, okay, all right. A lot of this shit I don't like, but some of the stuff I was just a little too critical on without really giving it a fair chance, man. But I'm from the era I'm from, man. I like what I like. So I'm not going out and buying a Trippie Redd album. But let them youngins have their music, man.
Exactly. And see,
have their music, man.
Because I'm second generation hip hop. See, a lot of people in this world, like you, D Great, DJ Mad Knox, Mocha, y'all are music lovers. Poe, I am not a music lover. I love hip hop music. I
Right.
appreciate, like, I got the whole playlist of jazz music called I call it the rap cave. It ain't got I read some of the people in the list. So don't think I don't listen to other music. I don't appreciate other music. It's called Chilling at the Rap Cave. The first person is Art Blakey, and the second person is Art Blakey. Then I got Monk, I got Sonny Rollins, I got Coltrane, I got Monk, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, so forth and so on. I appreciate that. I got a blues list. I got a funk list. I got other music, but I don't like Michael Jackson. I don't like Prince. You will never put it like this. If I never heard R&B ever again, it wouldn't affect my life. But if you told me, hey, you can't listen to hip hop no more, you can't. And I say all that to say this. I remember, see, I'm old enough to remember parents telling me, man, turn that mess off. They ain't even singing, they just talking. So for a long time, and Big Illinois, if he was on, he'd probably sleep because Big Illinois and I both, I got to be working an hour and a half, and Big Illinois been working an hour and a half as well. But so he'd probably be asleep. But I can remember when Big Illinois, one of the biggest hip hop heads in the world, but he's another, like you and Mocha and Knox and y'all, he's another music lover. I did not listen to R&B from like 1985 until Erykah Badu came out, and I'm not kidding. I used to listen to Tony. I had okay. I'm gonna show you how much of a boycott, because people used to diss hip hop. I've never heard any Heartbreak the entire album, because I was like, what?
You killing me, man. You killing me right now, right?
Come on. No. I took it personal. That's part of the reason I don't like Patti LaBelle to this day, because they was talking trash about hip hop, and I was like, it was literally like you was saying, A-Trap, your mama. They were saying, well, I don't really like hip hop, it ain't this, and I was like, I was hearing your mama. That's how personal it was with me. So, and I would never diss other music, but this is mine. So when these young people come in with their style, me and my son had this thing. When it's somebody new, I say, hey, what's up with this guy? He'd say, no, that ain't for you. And that's how I used to disseminate between stuff with my kids. That ain't for me, but that's for you. So go ahead, speak on it.
You killing me, man, because in your little 3-minute rant, you done talked about how you don't like Michael Jackson, Prince, Patti LaBelle. You ain't never listened to the whole Any Heartbreak album. Bro, let me tell you something.
I've never
Your
listened.
favorite.
Okay, let me correct. Let me make sure you understand. I have never listened to any R&B album. Correction. The first R&B album I ever listened to from front to back was Mary J. Blige's second album, and then Jodeci's second album, and then I went to Erykah Badu. Those are to this day. Those are the only 3 albums I ever listened to. That's R&B. And then Lauryn Hill, but at that point I had evolved into a different person. I don't hate those guys, but I took it as a personal assault. Like if somebody said, H-Rap, you can't podcast, man, F you. That's how I took it. So when they were speaking negatively about hip hop and other people like Isaac Hayes wasn't, James Brown wasn't, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep rocking with James Brown. That's what I'm saying. I took it personally.
Okay, all right. I'm not even gonna try to argue with none of that, but I'll say this, man. Like, I could give you my top 10 favorite albums of all time, and I'll get to number 6 before I get to a hip hop album. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably I'll go through 5 albums before I get to a hip hop album, and I love hip hop. But some of your favorite artists and producers, they do what they do because a lot of these R&B artists, man, they influence come from there first. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you getting charges filed on you. But yeah, I mean it's I don't know, man. I mean, I can't, there's no way I could have fallen in love with hip hop without falling in love with soul, R&B, classic, funk, all of that shit, man.
Okay,
But that's how that's, you know, that
see, that's what I'm saying. I don't consider 70 soul R&B. 70 soul and funk is not R&B to me.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
I might be crazy. Now, I have listened to everything Isaac Hayes ever made, everything Barry White ever made, everything Martin Gaye ever made, The Temptation. I got playlist. I don't consider that R&B. That's soul music. To me, it's different categories. Now, I've heard all those 70s from 79 on back. I got all that. But from 1980
bro, you got rhythm and blues now. Come on now. You gotta figure out how you want to define R&B though.
I can't. When they start this, see, here's the thing though. The dudes from the 70s wasn't dissing hip hop. As a matter of fact, story of DJ Quick said when he sampled Betty White's song, he saw her in 1989 and was scared. She walked up to him, hugged him, and said, sample some else. She said, sample some more stuff. I ain't never got to check that big. So the 70s people were embracing hip hop. And I'm sorry,
right.
Mo, Patti LaBelle used to go hard, and I almost stopped messing with Big Daddy Kane when he made that song with her sings like another one. I was like, you mother.
I get what you're saying, bro. I understand why you feel that way. I get it. Your passion for hip hop would not allow anybody to.
Right.
Question
That's
to you is, this is my question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you consider rhythm and blues? You know what I'm saying? Rhythm, blues. What do you consider rhythm and blues, man? How are you classifying R&B?
Let me make another correction. I used to love Tony too. I used to love them. But I just see, I can't really describe it. And I'm gonna sound like, how you diss something you can't describe? You sound like a fool. Well, I'm a fool then. Y'all can diss me. I'm willing to take those arrows. But my issue is this. If you said something negative about hip-hop music, in 84, I was 14. If you want to know my age, whatever year it is, that's the number of my age is. In 1984, if you said something about, as hip-hop was making its climb, if you said something about hip-hop, I wouldn't mess with you. Don Cornelius fronted on Run DMC. I never watched another Soul Train episode ever. I didn't give a damn if I would have been on air. A-Trap gonna be on. No, I ain't. That's how I felt because it was my thing. I was on my back. We had linoleum. I was a breaker and was breaking in front of the theater downtown Chicago. Hid our linoleum in the alley and paid for myself to go see Beach Street and break it. So it was my thing.
Let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you a question. I'm not asking you this question to say that I'm like just completely disagreeing with you, but let me ask you a question. Do you think that was fair?
No, it was.
Do you think it was fair for you to take that approach?
It was very childish
because
it was
hip hop at that time. No, I get it because like you said, you just talked about how in comparison to just any genre of music, hip hop is fairly young, and so when it blew up the way that it did, because hip hop exploded. Once it popped, and it's everywhere. And a lot of people didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, musicians, artists that are in the studio with guitars and horns and keys, and they full bands in studio sessions. And now you got something that just is so unique and so different, and appears to be pulling from this fabric that we've created. You know what I'm saying, as Black musicians, and done whatever they did with it. And it's like you from Chicago, right? What was your first reaction when you heard your first drill track?
Hated it.
You hated it, right?
Hate it. I would drown somebody.
You know what I'm saying? You hated that shit. And it's like probably the same way I felt when I heard, like when I first heard what's my man name? The motherfucker I could never understand when he first came out. Hell, really like Migos and Future. You know what I'm saying? Over time, regardless of how I feel about them, I'm not going to deny their contribution to hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Whatever that may be.
No. Hell no.
What, you don't like house music?
Hell no. Because they were they were the number one culprits of dissing hip hop. Okay, I'll tell y'all, look, hip hop history in Chicago. Hip hop didn't become popular or acceptable in Chicago until Treat 'Em Right came out. Treat 'Em Right was a big time Chicago house music song. And we would, how people, Mo, y'all know how people look at people with their pants off their butts now? Like, look at these trifling MFers, and I can't stand these jokers, and y'all make me sick. That's how they used to treat B-boys.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't diss those young people that look like that, because I was that dude at one point. I mean, I might not listen to your music. You have to put a 38 to my head to get me listen to your stuff. But I'm not gonna say you mother. No, because I used to be the dude with the baggy pants, so my backspin and my penny would look good. I was the dude walking around with suspenders on the back of my pants to make it look good when we was pop locking. Y'all don't understand it, but this is our thing. And it pisses me off to this day for people from my age group when they diss these young people. Oh man, you need to because we needed to. If we wouldn't have did it, they couldn't do it. And to answer Jungle's question, give me some Curtis Mayfield, give me some Gladys Knight, give me some Stevie Wonder, give me some Minnie Riperton, and me and Shorty gonna hang out. You know, some Teddy P, some Commodore. That's my vibe. But guess what? That was my mama's music. That is my mother's music. That ain't my music. Hip hop is mine, and I mean it. And if you diss it, I got an issue
Still
with
your music, bro.
you.
It's still your music because it's on my phone right now. I'm gonna send it to you too. You got Apple Music. I'm gonna send you my playlist. I got a playlist on my phone called "I Want My Daddy's Records." You know what I'm saying? Remember that from Sanford and Son?
Sanford and Son, Blind
And it's
Melody Jelly.
full of it's full of funk, classic soul, R&B shit. You know what I'm saying? It was the music that I grew up on because you done heard me tell the story a million times. Been in my daddy basement. He got the records. He put them on. I'm sitting there. He got the album cover showing me all the credits and who played this instrument, that instrument on this and that record. And to this day, that's still my go-to. When I'm in the car, I don't give a damn who I'm riding with. I could be on my way to a poker game. I got one of the homies in the car, and you might hear Parliament. That's what I'm listening to. I'm listening to that before I even listen to hip hop, man. And I love hip hop.
I'm finna show
But
you
that's
stuff.
my music. That used to be my daddy's music. God rest his soul, he ain't here no more. That's my shit now.
Look, I'm finna send you a picture of something. It's a picture of my playlist. And it's ironic that you said I want my daddy's music. I ain't gonna say what it is. I'm gonna let you tell
My
them.
daddy's
And it's a
records.
picture of look, it's a picture of my mother on this playlist. And you tell them, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth playlist. What's that called? Just to show you that show people that I'm not just talking.
The fifth playlist. Let me see what you got right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My mother's music, yeah.
See? And on that list, when you open it up, you will see Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Teddy P, LTD. So don't get me wrong. I don't.
Send me that playlist, man.
Huh?
Send me that playlist. Send me that playlist.
Okay, I'll send it. Oh, my battery about to die.
I just sent you the one I told you I was gonna send. But yeah, I mean, and I get it. I shouldn't have said it that way. But that's just what I mean by that's dude. I mean, that's what kind of shaped you, bro. That's what helped give you your taste in music. You know what I'm saying?
Not 1 ounce of putback.
And that's the same with these artists that's making their music.
I'll do a gumbo
The gumbo battle. D-Gray doing a gumbo battle.
Yeah, I never knew about it, but hey,
D-Gray ain't signing me up for no more battles. I keep losing.
I do old music, but first of all, like Jungle said, you must have melody. You must have substance. Like, man, how many people still listen to Gil Scott-Heron? He got this song called Gun. That's why when I fight so hard on a few minutes with H-Rap talk about it's getting bad in the world. No, he got a song nowadays, Living in the Ghetto, when the things are showing up real. And he said, I bet you I'll lay you 9 to 5. If you see him walking that night, I lay you 9 to 5. He walking with steel. That song's made like 1979, 1980. Think about the other side, Curtis Mayfield, the other side of town. We Out of Bounds, where nobody used to mess around. I never learned to share. I never learned to care. That's my kind of music. That's why I love the blue. That's why I love the blues. I love jazz, because jazz don't have no word. A lot of jazz that I listen to don't have no words, but it got words. And hip hop is the grandchildren and the children of that. And when those people attacked my music, I was like, oh, really? Really, Color the Bell? With your hollering ass. And I was, man, if I would,
Man,
I
we ain't
would
finna
cut
take
that
no,
old
we
lady
ain't finna have
out.
no disrespect to Patti LaBelle now. Now
I'm
you
just
done
saying.
took more shot at her, man. Leave Patty alone now.
She was one of
You
the
gotta
biggest,
leave my baby
she was
alone,
one of
man.
the biggest dissers, man. I was ready to pop that old lady in the mouth. I'm telling you, it was personal with me. When I tell you it was personal, I was mad. Okay,
Man, Patty LaBelle ain't understand that shit, man. Give her a pass, man.
hey, no,
Patty
I'm cool
LaBelle,
now.
she
But
did
okay,
Moon Shadow, man. You gotta give her a pass.
hey, this is my last thing I'm gonna say tonight because I got to get ready to go. I got to be at work in 22 minutes. I only live 5
All
minutes
right.
away. The good thing is that I live 5 minutes away. But
I'm
this
with
how
that,
much
Mocha. I'm with that.
this is how much I didn't like R&B, or I had such a disdain for R&B music. Me and Big Illinois used to work together. We would get off at 9 o'clock and we would get something to eat, something to drink, and we would play Madden all night because we lived like half a mile away from each other. We sitting there playing and playing and playing. We used to play best of 7 on Madden. If I took a 2-0 lead on Big Illinois, he said, hey, let's put on some music. He would play R&B. And it would distract me so much that I would lose 3 games in a row. And I'd be like, damn, I can't win. No, I'm tired, and then I would win 2 more games.
You want them niggas too cool to sing in the shower and shit to where you let
Oh,
that
no,
mess you up.
hey, man, I seen some Gladys Knight. I stumbled on this photograph. It kind of made me laugh. I was singing some quality music. I was saying some, put your head on my pillow, Tony, Tony, Tony. I know every word to every song on Mary J. Blige's second album. But if you notice anything about Mary J. Blige's second album, it's like a Curtis Mayfield album. And she just singing on top of Curtis Mayfield tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Well, you got top 5 favorite albums of all time?
oh, yeah.
It's hard, ain't it?
I would have to think.
Yeah, Jungle. Get this nigga up
Hey,
on some
man.
charges, man.
Guilty. I ain't even gonna fight the charges. Guilty.
Get this nigga up on some charges. Sentence
Guilty.
him.
I ain't even like that. I ain't even like that. Look, this is how much I was anti-Patti LaBelle. Remember her, Dwayne Martin, and
Well, I
Vivica
can't let
Fox
my
had
mama
that
watch
show?
this.
I had that
Yeah, I hated that show
show.
too.
Dwayne Martin, Ricky from what's his name? Morris Chestnut, Patti LaBelle, and Vivica Fox had that show. It was a hit. I ain't seen one. Man, screw her. She said something bad about hip hop. Hey, dog, I have watched 3-4 Tyler Perry movies in my life. A Jazz Man's Blues, which is in the top 5 of my movies all the time. I love this latest movie, Straw. The military movie, and that movie
Military movie.
with the ladies about 3 months ago. He came out with this movie with the
Okay.
456 to 368 or something like that. I don't know. It's a dope movie, and that movie where Janet Jackson can't act the way she couldn't play dead in the cowboy movie. Girl, you better keep dancing and singing. Acting ain't your thing. You ain't been good since Penny, man, because you sucked on different strokes too. But I refuse to watch it because, dog, that's how immersed in hip hop I was. Okay, then I gotta go. This is the last story. When I first decided, like I told my mother I was gonna be a broadcaster at age 10 in 1980. Right before my mother died, about 4 years after my mother died, I had noticed that podcast was a thing. And it was just called Buying Airtime in 2009, April 29th, 2009. It's my sister Phyllis's birthday. I created my profile on Twitter and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna build up a following, then I'm gonna do my show." And I told my uncle, my mother's brother. He said, "What you talking about?" I said, "Man, what you looking at online?" I said, "I'm just looking at this equipment to buy." He said, "What's going on?" I said, "Remember, this is 2009." I said, "Remember?" I said, "This is the next hip hop." He said, "What you mean?" I said, remember I told y'all that hip hop was gonna be the biggest thing in the world? He said, yeah. I said, this is the next hip hop podcasting. He said, what is that? I said, blah, blah, blah. And then he called me. He lives 30 miles away from me. He called me and said, hey, man, don't buy that equipment. Just come on out here and hang out with me. I said, all right, I'll be over there in a couple hours. He bought me podcast equipment. He said, here. I said, man, what's up? He said, man, the last time you told me was something going to be the biggest thing, you told me it was rap, and we laughed at you. I ain't going to laugh at you this time. That's how dedicated I was to hip hop.
That's what's up, man. That's a dope story, too.
That Code 45.
That's a super dope story. Plant-based chitlin recipe. Damn.
Nah. And y'all ain't get none of that. I got that in an irrevocable trust. I saw this coming. I saw this show coming. Y'all gets nothing. Like my cousin
prosecution coming heavy for you.
Like my cousin Sean Combs, I put everything in my children's name. Y'all gets nothing.
Mocha say you an R. Kelly fan, yeah. H-Rap a big R. Kelly fan.
Oh no, I don't like R. Kelly. Okay. I really shouldn't tell this story about R. Kelly, but I'm gonna tell it, then I gotta go. First, y'all remember that song? You got that vibe. They were playing the grooves off that record in Chicago, and I'm in the midst of my boycott. I'm tailing off the boycott because I was really kind of feeling guy, and I was like, yeah, okay, maybe. But then Teddy Riley was a hip hop dude, so I was like, okay, Teddy Riley, they rocking with one of our guys. You know what I mean? So they was playing this song, Vibe. And I'm like, man, they playing the hell out of this. What's this? I was at my man Patrick Crisp house, 300 West North Avenue, 1508 apartment. I said, yo, P, what is with this dude Vibe? Why are they playing this mess? He said, hey, man, that's the dude who used to sing on the train all the time. So, you know, I'm all about the entrepreneurship. I said, oh, man, that's dope. All right. I'm like, okay, I'm rocking with him. The next person that walked in the room said, you know, he still be up there at the high school messing with them little girls. I never listened to it. Now, it's this one song.
12 play.
Yeah, well, I've never listened to 12 play. Now, it's this one song. I don't know why I like this song, but it's called Cooking in the Kitchen. And I love this one part. He go, fruits and vegetables and potatoes. I don't know why I like that, but I like that.
Listen.
Nope. I mean, I got another personal. We used to call him a Chester back in the day. It wasn't that.
Hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, look, I
know a bunch of dudes.
I can't listen to that nigga music the same. I ain't finna get into that.
I know Q Kelly, LMNOP Kelly. It's a bunch of them around here. It just ain't him. That ain't why I don't like him, but I just ain't never really felt it. The man is dope. Let's say that. Because I don't like you don't mean you ain't good. I just don't like you. I don't like LL Cool J.
I mean, look,
in history of hip hop. If it was a Mount Rushmore, my Mount Rushmore would be Eazy-E, Luther Campbell, Russell Simmons, LL Cool J. If I had a Mount Rushmore. So just because I don't like you don't mean you ain't dope.
Well, let's do this. Because I know you got to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna circle all the way back around to the conversation. Nas versus Jay-Z.
I would pick
Nas. Nas's. This my question right here. Is Nas best 4 albums? Best 4 albums.
What's Jay-Z's best 4 albums?
Reasonable Doubt. This is just my opinion. Reasonable Doubt. I'm gonna go In My Lifetime.
Illmatic.
I'm gonna go Blue. Okay, that's all right. Illmatic versus Reasonable Doubt. In My Lifetime. Volume 2.
Volume 2. I would say the second one. It was written.
Okay. All right. Blueprint 3.
I thought Blueprint 3 was kind of whack. I love Jay-Z, but I thought Blueprint 3 was kind of whack.
That's the general consensus. Blueprint 3. If I'm doing this, I'm going American Gangster.
Okay, American Gangster.
That's number 3.
What's the comeback album? Stillmatic. Is that the one with Ethan?
Stillmatic, yeah. That's the comeback album. That's the one with One Mic and all that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And to me, it's a toss-up. 444 Magna Carta.
Okay. I ain't even gonna go with the new stuff. I'm gonna go with The lost tapes.
That's where you lost me right there. Nah. Once you get past, so you said Illmatic, it was written Stillmatic. I would have went with one of the King's Disease albums, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But nah.
I love that.
Nah,
I love
you can't go lost tapes on me. You said
Okay,
what?
well, if you don't go lost tapes, the one with the wedding dress, that was cold.
The one with the red wedding dress. You talking about the one with
The one he said,
goddamn, what's the name of that song? It's,
Compton's in the house, Big Illinois. What's good?
yeah. It's now I got to pull that shit up now. But I don't know, man.
Life is
I
good.
think
Life is good. Life is
Life
good.
is Good. That's the one with daughters.
Yeah.
I think damn, boy.
You can't go
You making
wrong
this
with
you
either one of them.
you making this one hard, man, because anything between that Dynasty album and the Black album was cold, but I think to me the Black album wasn't as good as any of the albums that I mentioned. But I think if you put Nas's catalog, you got to be careful who you ask.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful who you ask because those King's Disease albums was dope, but Nas had that stretch where it was like, come on, man. Big Illinois said that Magna Carta was a tad better than the Carter 6. Carter 6 was trash, man. I tried to listen to it.
But okay, my two favorite
Magna
pieces
Carta was dope, man.
is the thigh and the drumstick. Nas is the thigh, Jay-Z is the drumstick. The only reason I like the thigh better than the drumstick is because there's more meat. That's it. That's how I feel about Jay-Z and Nas. They're dead tie, but I just personally like Nas a little better. And because I like you, again, y'all, my opinion don't mean a darn thing to anybody but me. And I'm not gonna diss your opinion. You know, everybody can be right. You know, look, everybody entitled to their opinion. I got my opinion, and y'all got y'all wrong ass opinion.
Well, listen, I'm gonna go on record and I'm gonna go ahead and proceed. Reason. None of those albums that we just mentioned, whether it was a Jay-Z album or a Nas album, come close to Illmatic to me. Neither one of them. I don't think Nas ever made an album that came close to Illmatic. I don't think Jay-Z made an album that came close to Illmatic. And I gotta leave right there.
The Reasonable Doubt
I can see.
Close. Reasonable Doubt is close. Hey, I'm taking up charges on Mocha for trying to steal from me and my children's. Because anytime you come out of my code 45 money is personal. You know what, Mocha? You 2025 patted the bail for me going forward.
Hey, Mocha did press them charges, didn't she?
Yeah.
She pressed them charges.
So Mocha, I'm just letting you know, Jungle, I need some charges filed against my children on Mocha.
I'm gonna be your public defender, man. I'm gonna be your public defender.
You come after my code 45 money is personal. So get ready.
What's up, man.
Get ready, Mocha.
Hey, sign us.
All right, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all already know who he is. That's Big Mo, 50% owner of ParkBench Media, 50% owner of the Bench Media. I'm H-Rap B, 50% owner of both. We taking over the universe 1 week at a time. Hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend to tap in. If y'all want to hear us talk about something, y'all know our numbers, y'all know our inboxes. Reach out how about this? Just email me at at gmail.com. THAENDOFDABENCH. We also got a series coming up called The Supreme Court. We have officially deaded this Mount Rushmore conversation. The Supreme Court is the dopest idea in the history of the world. Tap in to me and Mo when we start doing that. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. 2 fingers, 1 word. That's Big Mo. I'm H-Rap, and we are